the power rankings and the seeding agreed. Hammerheads was the number one team coming in here. Armada, though, not projected to even make it out of the first round. They were expected to lose to the Three Rocketeers, but upsets Three Rocketeers and then has an amazing showing against the Sappers, as you mentioned. And it's going to come down to Mimsy. Mimsy is the lowest rated player on the side of the Armada, 150, but he puts himself in a unique position where if Mimsy's playing, which there's no substitution, so Mimsy's has to play, he cannot be subbed out by any stretch of the imagination. If he's struggling, he's got to find a way to pull through, and he can rotate the pieces around him all you want. But if Mimsy's sandbagging, that's going to be a problem for the Armada. But the opposite has been happening, where Mimsy's been really stepping up and really taking it to these teams, especially against the Sappers in that 3-0 upset. So key here for the Armada is going to be Mimsy, and on the Hammerheads, on the same breath, you could talk about Joe Papa in the exact same situation as Mimsy, and Joe Papa's been taking care of business as well. So looking at the two captains, both the lowest rated players on their teams, they got to show up, they got to perform. It's kind of, you can kind of write people off for like having a low rating and being not necessarily like, oh, maybe they don't need to perform, like their teammates can pick up. But with these two specifically, they cannot be replaced. They have to perform for their teams to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you bring up the rosters, I'm just going to take the time to introduce the full rosters of both of these teams. So, starting off with the historic franchise, the Hammerheads, two-time champions, almost got their third last season, but just fell short. At captain, we have Joe Papa, and then you have it's OS at 210, Long Neck at 210, and Norm at 250. And next, it is the underdogs over at Armada. We talked about them, the number 13 seed coming into this, knocked off the Season 10 champions from last year and is looking to knock off the other Season 10 finalists, Hammerheads. Captain Mimsy, as you mentioned, the player to look out for. And Sten Clown sitting at 220, Kawhi sitting at 220, and ZDL Pinky sitting at 190. And since you were talking about who you think you want to take a look out for in this match, I want to talk about who I want to take a look out for this match. So, ZDL Pinky is one of my favorite players to watch, one of my least favorite to play against. I can never read what that guy is doing. ZDL Pinky he can take control of the match in the weirdest way. He doesn't play the traditional sense of Rocket League. So you got to keep an eye out for him, because I think players like Norm and It's OS, who are more used to that traditional style Rocket League, both veterans of the league, but still they're going to have trouble adjusting to a player that is just everywhere all the time, it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of the beauty of the QRLS, where you can have a bunch of different play styles, a bunch of different philosophies on how to approach the game. You have a varying degree of skill level. It can kind of be throw these higher rated players a little bit off to kind of come up against someone who doesn't necessarily play the game in the quote unquote like most optimal way to progress up the ranked ladder. But so long as they're playing with each other and so long as they're playing with their team and not creating any defensive lapses, you can have kind of more out there play styles. You can have a play style where it feels like you're just dominating and running around the map, running circles around the opponents, so long as you kind of have a little bit more solid foundation. And that's what kind of Mimsy's been offering as of late. So, which is why I like to highlight Mimsy. Also, Norm is the highest rated player in the lobby. You're going to expect that if there's going to be some sort of pop off effect from the Hammerheads, it's got to come from him.
Yeah, definitely. So that we're talking about the rosters and we're talking about the teams. I say let's just go. We're 2 minutes from game time. Let's just go ahead and let's give our prediction. I'll let you start us off.
Well, they beat the Sappers and they beat the Three Rocketeers. They were 15th in the power rankings coming into this, now 4th. And if Mimsy's playing well, I don't think there's a team that's a clear favorite against this Armada side. That being said, I think the Hammerheads are still the favorites. I'm gonna go with the Hammerheads. I don't think this is gonna be a blowout, but if Mimsy's got to show up to keep this thing close.
You got a series score for us?
I'm gonna say 3-2.
Okay, that's reasonable. Well, I'm going in a similar direction as you, just a little bit more extreme. Hammerheads, that team is just built completely different. Its OS can completely take over the lobby at any moment. Joe Papa, an absolute sharpshooter from the midfield. Norm and Longneck are both just wild cards when it comes to the pitch. I think Armada's luck is going to run out here soon. I don't think they quite have the rotational ability to beat this Hammerheads team. I'm going to go with Hammerheads in 3-3-0.
Ooh, projecting a sweep. You know, it's kind of bold after they swept the Sappers. I mean, granted that wasn't exactly like the best showing, but I think Armada's definitely got a little bit more fight, and but again, it is relying on Mimsy. And to quote Alex after the Sappers game, that was the best he ever saw Mimsy play in his on stream in his life. So, can he replicate that? Maybe not, but I still got hope. Armada definitely won me over against the Sappers. Unfortunately, uh, sorry, reserve, but man, I just enjoy the way they played. So. We will wait to see. We're waiting for these players to get in the lobby. We're seeing Armada just joining us now. It's going to be Mimsy, ZDL Pinky, and Kawhi starting us off.
It's a pretty solid lineup. That's the lineup you want to see out of them. And St. Clown's going to be your wild card if you maybe lose these first two games and need a sub, or hey, if you even tie the series up and it goes into game 3 all tied up, you could put them in, just change the play style a little bit, confuse Hammerheads a little bit. But I like to see those 3 starters right there.
Nice. And is this the roster we're going to expect from them going forward? Maybe. I think Insane Clown's definitely more of a traditional player, so I think going with him and Kawaii and Mimsy, it's kind of a more traditional setup, so you lose a little bit slower, but kind of inject a little bit of life into that Armada side, get a little bit more out there, get a little bit more creative, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at all. And we're still waiting on Hammerheads getting to the lobby, taking their time, and they are in the lobby now. So you see, its OS left the match as soon as he joined it. Not quite what you want to see, but I guess it happens to the best of us as we await his return. So, Drakback, how's your day, Drakback? Tell me about your day.
I actually think Hammerheads are in. Joe Papa. It's gonna be Joe Papa, Longneck,
Oh,
and Norm. So I think
there we go.
somebody got a little bit
A little too
overeager. They
excited.
thought they were starting, but
I'm so the
yeah.
best.
We're gonna get us started off here. Game 1 of what's hopefully gonna be a long series or a sweep. Who knows? We are yet to see, but we are live. Kauai starting us off in the offensive half of the oh my god, I almost said Sappers, of the Hammerheads, excuse me. Hammerheads are going to take over, but not for long, as EDL Pinky's going to put it back.
Yeah, and I'm already seeing some midfield presence here from the Hammerheads. They're doing a really good job of just creating chaos, and that's something that they have to focus on really well. As you saw Norm right there, just able to get the ball away. It feels like they've had it in this Armada half forever now. So many opportunities getting created. Remember, you don't have to score in the first minute. It's just very important to already establish that pressure in this game.
A little bit of back and forth from Mimsy and Joe Papa, but Joe Papa's going to get the better of the exchange. Ball is back in the Armada half. Joe Papa going to center it up for himself, but Kawhi's going to take care of it. But not good enough for Longneck, where he's just going to pow it into the open net.
Yeah, just a great play right there by Joe Papa. Looked like he was going to go up for the double tap, faked it down. I like the fake. not a player that you expect to go up for much mechanical stuff, but hey, he's been trying it a lot more, and I like it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how his new and improved skill set affects him this game.
Exactly, trying new stuff, not necessarily what you want to do in the semifinals, but it's only preseason, so gotta try some stuff out. Norm corralling it in the corner of the Hammerheads, but that ended up being a mistake. Kawhi's gonna take over from a ZDL Pinky pass. 1-1.
Yeah, one of the weaker spots. As I was talking positive about Joe Papa, I'm going to point out a little bit of a negative here. Joe Papa, not too fast to the ball. That's the one negative when you're playing with him. He's a great team player, but does not quite have that speed aerial mechanic written down yet. We see it right there as it goes into the mid. That was a chance right there for Armada. But a keynote for Armada here. If you see Joe Papa up for the ball, go for it. Just ego challenge it. There's no harm in it. That's something you really got to focus on in the QRLS because there are so many lower ranked players in these lobbies.
Exactly, and you know, a couple of key misses from Armada. Kawhi on a very close whiff to send the ball into the Hammerheads half. Can't quite do it, and now they're finally getting out of defensive pressure, but not for long as Norm tries to clear it. Armada's there though, and they're not going to be able to hold for long. Hammerheads, and right as I say that, Mimsy's going to take over.
Yeah, he is. And we see Kawhi going up for that little mechanical double cap right there. ZDL Pinky trying to get the shot down. Papa passing it to long neck back down to Norm. Norm doesn't have any boost, but he gets it past one, gets it past two. ZDL Pinky, full boost in the net, was able to clear it out. That was an unfortunate miss right there from long neck. This is another opportunity for Armada right now. They have it in front of the goal, but nothing is going to come from it.
Yeah, just some crucial misses from Armada. It's been really close, but Kawhi is gonna get a good 50-50 and a little bit of a defensive mishap. Joe Papa not necessarily getting a good 50 on it, and it just slowly trickles in. Armada's mistakes have not been costly enough, but Hammerheads has been. It's 2-1.
A great read right there by Kawhi. Hammerhead's got to find something soon here. 2 minutes to go. Pinky trying to get a good 50 right there. Papa and Longneck are up. Joe Papa getting a great touch to the corner. Longneck going to follow it up. Not the bounce he wanted, off the wall. Norm going to have to get back to that one fast. He has the boost, but he's just going to have to boom it away. That's a double commit right there from Armada, but looked like one of them got into the net in time, and they're just taking 50s in front of the net now, and they're winning them. It's very important right there. We see Kawhi with such good control of his car and a beautiful pass. Man, they can create some beautiful passing opportunities if they do stuff like that again.
Yeah, and speaking of opportunities, Hammerheads with 6 saves total across like 9 shots, it seems. Hammerheads has not forced the Armada to take a save yet, so we gotta see some more opportunities out of the Armada, or out of the Hammerhead, sorry. If we're gonna want to see any sort of comeback here, or any sort of series, like competitiveness in the series, Kawhi challenging in the midfield. Joe Papa's going to be up for it. Cleared by ZDL Pinky to Norm, who's going to corral it. Trying for a centering attempt. Long neck going to go for it. Can't quite get it down. Joe Papa misses just left.
That was an unfortunate one. That's going to be one they want back. They could get a remedy right here for it, but not going to be able to. Or is that one going to float in? Mipsy had to work a little bit extra hard to get there, but yeah. Hammerhead shooting needs to improve, and this is a chance for it. No boost with Kawhi. Long neck puts it right over him. As I was saying something, Hammerheads tie the game with 27 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, this ball can't just drop right in front of the net. ZDL Pinky trying to just deal with the immediate threat. Can't quite get it to the corner. Just going to leave a ball just slowly falling right in front of a net, and trivial for the Hammerheads to deal with.
Absolutely, and now they have 15 seconds on the clock. One last chance for him. A bump by Joe Papa onto Kawhi. 10 seconds now. It's ticking down. Mimsy Putting it up, gets demoed. ZDL Pinky, a desperate shot. Norm can't read it, but he gets back to the save. Mimsy still has one more chance at it. Joe Papa plays it to the wall, trying to keep it up, but Kawhi with the demo. We have overtime in the first game of the night.
Norm with the clutch save of game one. Will it be the clutch save of the series? Taking this game to overtime when it had no right to being. Kawhi centering it for Mimsy. Can't quite there. ZDL Pinky shoots it high, and nobody's there for the follow-up. So this is going to go back to midfield. Norm waits out the Armada, but the ball bounces harmlessly away. Longneck takes it over.
You see Pinky going for a demo right there. Kawhi going to be able to get the 50 on Joe Papa. Norm waiting patiently right there. Something he does best. He waits patiently, and not much boost for Pinky right now. He's going to have to boom it away. Can Norm read it off the wall? Yes, he can. Longneck going to have to turn for it. Mimsy with no boost. It forces Joe Papa out of that third man position. He has to go for it. Going for the corner read. Can't quite get there. Longneck, a beautiful 50 into the corner. This is so much pressure for Hammerheads.
They got lucky to get out of that one, the Armada, but the pressure is going to be too much. Mimsy missing a open net, and the follow-up shot's too soft. Longneck can get back in time. Oh, both sides having opportunities to end this game, and Norm will do it. If you're the Armada, you're gonna want those shots back, but we're on to game two. Norm slowly trickling a bouncer over everybody. Hammerheads win 3-2.
Man, just a really, really unfortunate shot to end it right there. Norm had a spectacular game. Look at that on the scoreboard. The amount of saves that Armada had one save. Hammerheads had 7. They Braziled them in saves. Norm had 4 of them. Just a great defensive showing from Hammerheads. And even with a new team, this isn't the team that we're typically used to seeing for the Hammerheads. A new roster, Joe Papa, the only returning one. They're still just a defensive masterclass of a team.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the story of the misses. Both Hammerheads and Armada having really close misses. Norm, MVP, rightfully so with that save at the very end of the game. But Armada with a couple of post hits, couple of crossbar hits. Hammerheads also had some post hits as well. But I think when it comes down to these close games, those plays will matter. And I think this is not over yet. Armada still has plenty of life in it, but you gotta be a little bit more clinical.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are into game 2 now, that was an absolute thriller of a first game. So I'm really excited to see how this second game turns out. Have the kickoff right here. Longneck and Mimsy going against each other. Goes out into the mid. Joe Papa sending that one down. Kawhi going to get a little fake right there. Pinky in the mid. It goes right back out into that mid boost. Longneck with a chance for a shot. Kawhi waited for it. It's going to be up there. Joe Papa with the double tap, and Mimsy can't get to it. Joe Papa opens up the scoring for the Hammerheads.
Joe Papa, right place, right time. Kawhi bounces this high, but Joe Papa's there. If Joe Papa's able to capitalize, or sorry, the pass was high, and Joe Papa was able to capitalize. That is the type of stuff that you will need to do in this game. You will need to capitalize on your opportunities, capitalize on the stuff that Armada gives you. Armada has been pretty tight at the midpoint and been handling their own. And really, speaking of pressure, ZDL Pinky's going to put a ball in off of a Joe Papa mistimed clear right to Kawhi. Great pass if it was the other team, but Kawhi to Pinky makes this 1-1.
Yes, it does. And we're not even a minute into this game yet. Double commit from the Hammerheads right there. But it did work out for him. Pinky going to be able to take control of this one. Papa was awkward. Can't Pinky get the shot? He gets the pitch. and Armada take an early lead. And as I was saying, not even a minute into this match yet, and we already have 3 goals.
Crazy start, especially compared to the start of the first game. First game was a little bit quiet, but we are definitely opened up the scoring now. Norm making it 2-2 off the kickoff. That is those. When I say you've got to take your opportunities, these teams have definitely taken it to heart. They are not letting themselves miss anymore. And now the story's a little bit different. Let's see some defense here. That's 4 goals in less than a minute. We want to see some saves. Both sides only with 1 save. Like, it got to be a little bit better defensively, but I do like to see some goals. And speaking of goals, Longneck's going to make it 3-2 off of a mishandled ball. It was 50-50 that was just not handled well. Kawhi kind of leaving that open for Norm to take it from the middle.
Well, we went almost a minute without a goal. We did go a minute without a goal, so that's a positive to take away from it. But man, Hammerheads finding themselves every time that they go down, it feels like. I'm loving to see the adjustments. Just need a little bit of less double commits, need a little bit more communication. We see it on defense a lot from them where they double commit. And a whiff right there is going to bail them out. It falls into the Armada half, and we're just playing some games of boomer ball right here. It's boom, follow, boom, follow. This is some classic QRLS Rocket League.
Yeah, I just got to settle in. Too many goals, so let's play a little bit of boom ball and settle the nerves here. Armada do need to break the stalemate because they are at 3-2, but, got plenty of time, especially with the number of goals that have gone in. There's plenty of time to get another one. Kawhi is going to try to clear, but Longneck's there, and he's going to try to get a good pass in, but nobody's home at the immediate. Kawhi is going to take it on 0 boost. Joe Papa with the 50. Can't quite get it clear, so now it's going to go back to the Hammerheads half, but straight into the waiting arms of Longneck. Going to try to dribble it, but Mimsy's going to take the block, get cleared out, and Joe Papa coming for an open net, but Pinky's there for the clear. And like you said, Pinky's kind of just been all over the place. You think you have an open net, and Pinky's just there to deal with it. Longneck completely screwing up a one-on-one there, and now the ball's back in the Armada half. Pinky trying to make something happen, but Hammerhead's handling that pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're finding such good room on these counterattacks. They just need to win a little bit more of these 50s in the midfield. They're finding out Armada's just right on top of each other. They're taking advantage of it. Norm with the shot. Longneck has a chance for the double, sends it down. Not quite going to get in front of the net, as a double commit from Armada is going to be able to get the save. But here we go. They have so many 50s in the midfield. They're not letting up. It feels like every touch is so intentional and so good. Anytime a shot is put, somebody is there to save it.
Yeah, that shot there by Longneck was just being afraid of missing, just driving it into the ground, little bounce shot. That's platinum exclusive there, just making sure that you don't accidentally sky it, but it was too slow and easy to deal with. But, to give these teams credit, they have completely tightened up their defense. Like, we haven't seen any misses, and we haven't really seen too bad of a misses, but these teams have stopped scoring, and that's just a testament to them both deciding to kind of ease up on trying to score as many goals as possible and try to take this game a little bit more seriously, a little bit defensively. And Kawhi being an inch away from scoring. That's rough when you're double posting out.
Yeah, that is a confidence killer right there. Armada is probably in the dumps in their mental right now. They're going to play a little bit more boomer ball, try and get that ball away. But this, man, I say it a lot, but the midfield presence in this league is the most important part of it. Whatever team can rotate around the midfield the best just wins all the games. And it shows right here. There are no players in the midfield for Armada, and they're already back on defense. Kawhi was luckily able to get out of that situation, but it was like I said in the pregame, it just does not feel like Armada has the rotational ability right now.
Yeah, and that's going to probably come down to a couple of factors. 5 seconds to go, ball firmly in the Armada half, unless a prayer happens. This looks like it's going to be 3-2 Hammerheads once again. Long neck going to go for a goal, but can't quite get it, but the ball will hit the ground. Hammerheads 3-2. One of the keys to this game that I said was Mimsy needs to show up. 129 with only 2 shots to your name is not the definition of showing up. That is you are over 170 points under the next lowest in the lobby. Not really too much presence. You kind of seen a couple of misses, couple of bad decisions. No rotation whatsoever, or poor rotation. Not getting back in time. And ZDL Pinky's gonna leave. So is this the right call? Maybe, but kind of gets stuck with Mimsy, who's sort of underperforming right now. I don't know if Insane Clown's going to be the difference maker here. Maybe just the mental reset, maybe the new player, new mindset coming in, kind of help Mimsy refocus. Because that game 1, he wasn't doing too terribly, but game 2, we just need to see him do better.
Yeah, I think putting an Insane Clown here is absolutely the correct move. So usually Insane Clown, not the best player in league games I've noticed. He kind of has some subpar performances, but the past 2 series that he's played have been absolutely incredible. So he could be the difference between a reverse sweep or getting 3-0'd here.
Yeah, and for the Armada's sake, for my sake, because I've grown to fond of the Armada, and for the good of Rocket League's sake, we want a couple more games in this series, but Norm's going to do his best to make sure that doesn't happen. Insane Clown immediately gets subbed in, tries to control it, gets bumped away, and Longneck's going to score on an open net. Or Norm's going to score on an open net. I'm sorry, I am misspeaking today.
Man, it happens to the best of us in Rocket League. Sometimes those plays just do not go your way. And again, Hammerheads starting this out early with some scoring here. We saw last game Armada was able to come back from it, but this feels so different right now. This team feels so defeated because they can't get anything done. I mean, look right there. Longneck just denied it and dunked it and said, "No, you're not putting it in my net."
Yeah, Armada almost feeling like they're playing last-second desperation with 4 minutes to go. It just feels like they're throwing stuff at the net. They're throwing themselves at the ball to try to create something. And it's just Mimsy with a long shot. I mean, that looked like the closest opportunity they had in a little bit, but man, it just with that being your closest opportunity in a little while, that's just kind of sad. Mimsy going for a bump play, but Norm's gonna easily glide out of the way and be able to be there for the save.
Yeah, and I'm liking the cuts from Hammerheads too. They're just cutting the ball off at mid and making sure nobody from Armada can score. Norm with a great touch out to the corner. Clown gonna try and get some scoring going. Mimsy was not there for the shot. It is hit back to Clown in the corner. He does grab the boost. Joe Papa was there with him, forces out a touch, goes for a pinch with Kawhi. Not much happening there. Norm sending it up. Clown was already up for it. It goes under him. It's over. Mimsy and Kawhi going to have to get the little clear away there. Norm is really making Armada work for it.
Yeah, down to the last person. It's rough in these streets for Armada, but that's what you have to know what you're dealing with against the Hammerheads. Kawhi with a little bit of a dribbler, Norm corralling it easily, but long neck with a good save. This was the first opportunity in a little while that Armada had a serious threat on goal, but yet again, Hammerheads deal with it.
Yes, they do, and we're halfway through this game now. Armada have to get something going, and with barely any boost up and nobody on offense except for Mimsy, it feels like their chances are closing in. A Joe Papa whiff may create something here, but Norm clearing away. Mimsy sticking it to the corner. It's into the mid right now. Longneck waiting on the backboard. Mimsy trying to get a shot off right there. It's too weak. It's up in the air by Joe Papa. Longneck A beautiful beat to get that ball back in the midfield, and St. Cloud has no more boost. Norm going for the sidewall read, and Longneck puts it up, but a pitch from Insane Clown keeps Armada alive. Man, will a goal go in the net this game anymore?
This was just like game one of the series. That was a chance to ice the game right there. Armada's done absolutely nothing except for one little shot on offense. You have a chance to go 2-0 up, and you just get gun shy. You just get scared. Like, you're so worried about missing that you just kind of pop it up nice and easily. Long neck, finally able to score on an open net. And that's probably going to ice the game unless something crazy happens on the Armada side. But, man, that felt like a long time coming. Armada not really showing up anything on offense, and Hammerheads just being a little bit too scared of missing the open net in order to prevent the Armada from being able to get back and make a save.
So, 1.5 minutes to go in this game. It is very possible to score 2 goals, but Armada's going to have to figure out fast. Norm! What a shot. Insane Clown has played some great defense this game, despite it being 2-0. Clown having to put that one up in the air. Longneck runs out of boost. This is a chance for Armada. They have all the boost. Norm, nothing. Kawhi sitting it on, and it is a 1-goal game with a minute to go. Hey, Drakback, this one is not over yet.
Excuse me, Joe Papa gets exploited for being slow in the air. You kind of need to see him be a little bit faster, but it did note that that was one of his weaknesses, being a little bit a little bit slower on the ball. Ego challenge goes the way of Armada, but the kickoff goal goes the way of Longneck and the Hammerheads. And just as fast as Armada got back in this game, they are back on the outside.
What a bump from Norm right there. He sent that guy absolutely flying in. Yeah, it felt like Armada had a little bit of hope, and then it all got ripped away from him again. A kickoff goal would be nice, but with Longneck in the air, getting it over Cloud, Norm has a chance to shoot this one. Gonna fake it for Kawhi, just playing the time right here. Man, Hammerheads look absolutely unstoppable right now. Armada can't even read what they're doing.
Yeah, just playing classic for time, but that might change after Kawhi scores a second goal. Kawhi has been single-handedly dragging this Armada offense. 7 shots and 2 goals. You know, not really good numbers percentage-wise, but somebody's got to do something when you're down 2 goals, and Armada is still in it thanks to the efforts of Kawhi.
Yeah, definitely their star player right now. If they can create a miracle, he'll be the one to credit for it. We talk about him. He's up in the air, not going to be able to do anything with that. Joe Papa sending it down. Longneck wasn't able to beat Clown right there. Clown with all the boost, just going to have to send it mid. Leaves it for Kawhi. Kawhi has it in the midfield. Norm having to make an awkward save. Mimsy can't quite get the 50 that he wanted. He's going to have to let somebody else go up for it. Clown has the boost, popping it up. 0 seconds on the clock now. Kawhi gets there. It's a 50 by Joe Papa. Can Mimsy pop it up? Yes, he can. It's a pitch, but it's awkward. Norm keeps it up, though. He's not going to let the ball hit the ground. And Longneck puts the nail in the coffin, rips the Band-Aid off, does everything that he can to rub it in the Armada team's faces. Hammerheads are moving on to the finals with a 3-0 sweep.
You can't say it wasn't expected. Longneck creating a statement for the finals that he's going to be the player to watch with a hat trick, 4 saves, hat trick and a savior. And Armada did show some fight. That is good. That is good to see. I'm excited to see what they could do in the future, but against the number 1 seed, your best was not good enough. And that was not Armada's best.
No, it was not. And the Cinderella stories have to come to an end sometime. That's just the way it works. Sometimes you have miracles that happen, but that just was not one of them. Hammerheads take it 3-0 over Armada. And joining us in the booth now is the man that we couldn't stop talking about on the Hammerheads. Norm, how are you feeling, buddy?
Feeling great, feeling great. Semifinals win, ready to play in the finals.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, Hammerheads have a huge history of winning championships and going to finals. So, how do you feel carrying on that legacy? And does it feel like there's kind of a stone on your back? Do you have a boulder on your back that you're carrying with that expectation?
Um, I mean, as soon as Joe Papa picked me up from the draft, I already knew it was gonna be a good season because Joe Papa's the goat. Um, so underrated, by the way. But no. I mean, it feels like just any other season for me. No stone being carried. It's just vibes in the voice chat with the other three. We had Itsos in there as well. So we could have subbed him in any time, but obviously with the 3-0 win, you don't really need to make any changes. So it's just complete vibes in the chat. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, that's kind of what I thought this Hammerheads team was going to thrive off of, just pure vibes, which is funny. I think you're one of the most vibey teams in the league. I mean, all four of you are veterans. All you have been playing in the league a long time. I think your team has the formula to succeed. The QRLS formula, veterans, vibes, good teamwork, non-toxic players, and just really good players overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I was saying, Joe Papa is extremely underrated, and putting Itsos or Longneck on as my kind of second man in there, both really good mechanically, and then there's me just waving my head around, just running around with a chicken with my head cut off. But yeah, it's definitely fun. It's it's definitely very vibey, as you were saying.
Yeah, and before I send it to Drac Pack so he can ask his questions, I do got to thank you. You won me 37,000 credits on the QRLS channel, so I really appreciate you for that. So now,
Yeah.
Drac Pack, do you have any questions for Hammerhead's very own Norm?
Yeah, I mean, first off, like, what a win. I think everyone was kind of expecting you to be here. Were you guys expecting to be here yourselves? Kind of hard to
Um,
kind of hard to ignore with the number one seed and number one in the power rankings. But is
I
that is
mean,
that where you? Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. To be honest, I haven't paid. I am on the power rankings committee, but even I've ranked us like lower probably. But I mean, I'm gonna put us at number one probably now. But um, I've ranked us lower because I don't we're good, but yeah, I don't like saying we're the best in the league, but we definitely put our best foot forward today. Armada's a very good team. I mean, came in as a 13th seed, and you went, in the QRLS standings, you went up till fourth or third or whatever you went up to. So props off to them. But I personally, I wasn't expecting to be here just um, with the bracket the way it was set up. Mustangs were a really good team. We were really fortunate to get away with that one, but um, yeah, I think it was always finals for us, or that was the expectation when we were going into this preseason tournament.
Nice, nice. And this game kind of it felt like you had a couple of people as it's not always the same faces popping off. You talk about Longneck for a little bit in that third match with 4 saves, 3 goals. Like, what does he bring to the team? That's sometimes a little bit. Sometimes it's you on top, sometimes it's him on top, sometimes Joe Papa kind of takes the reins. But kind of what do each of you kind of like when your guys are popping off, like who should we look out for?
Yeah, I mean, all of us are ones to look out for when we pop off, but especially Longneck in that third game. I mean, you can see what our team can do when, I set up Longneck on a pass, or Joe Papa sets up Longneck on a pass, or the three-team passing play that looks beautiful in the offensive third. Um, and that third game was all Longneck. I mean, you could see him. He was popping off 3 goals, whatever 4 saves, probably dropping like 700 or 800 points. But that I mean, that's just what we do, and we like to set each other up. So I mean, sometimes it's long neck setting me up, sometimes it's me setting him up, sometimes it's me setting Itsos up, and sometimes it's him setting me up. You know, we all love getting in the mix, getting in that offensive third, getting getting goals, getting assists. We love that. So
Some final question. You guys are going to be in the finals against Rangers. Any comment on the Rangers team, how they've been doing? What to look out for against them,
um
maybe?
yeah, we're in the in our weekly power rankings. There's also player of the week, which hasn't been mentioned a whole lot, but Scraps has told us to pick a preseason tournament player of the week, and the only name I have written down right now is Niner, because he's just been playing that good. Um, he's definitely one to look out for. Also, Artemis. I mean, he's popping off against I think it was Clarity, and the game before that too. He was popping off extremely. So he's always one to look out for. Their entire squad is really good though, and it shows whenever you're up on top of that weekly power rankings every week. So definitely excited for this finals matchup. And yeah, I wish the best of luck to Rangers, and may the best team win.
That will be an exciting matchup. Reserve, have any final comments for Norm?
Man, Norm, I love you, but I gotta throw a little shade to the Hammerheads, of course. The Hammerheads have a history of losing to epic division teams in the finals. So I'm just gonna, just in case I'm not here next week, I'm just gonna make my prediction now. I think Rangers take the finals 4-3. That is my final comment for the stream. Thank you, Drac Pack, for joining me on this stream.
Wow.
Thank you, Scraps, for producing for us tonight. We appreciate all of you tuning into the stream. It's absolutely a great time. I'm excited for the final. We will get you updated on when that is scheduled. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out in the scheduling tab. Rangers and Hammerheads will be your QRLS Season 11 preseason grand final. That does it here from us at the QRLS. And as always, keep it quick.